fabulous freaks. Today I am going to do a review of Gerald's Game.
This is gonna be good for us, Jess. Really good. That's a marriage, isn't it? Working on the difficult things.
For better or worse.
Let's go in, get comfy.
Gerald's Game is about an older couple that hope to spark some life into their marriage. After Gerald, played by Bruce Greenwood, handcuffs his wife Jessie, played by Carla Guingo, to the bed, things take a turn for the worst and Gerald has a heart attack and dies, leaving Jessie restrained to the bed with no hope in sight. I really couldn't wait to do this review just because it was stuck in my mind for so many days. And I just absolutely adored it and loved every single bit of it. I feel like this movie got shoved in the shadows, which is weird for 2017 because this was the year of Stephen King movies, and this was the only Stephen King movie or show I haven't heard about. I mean, we had It, we had The Dark Tower, we had a remake of The Mist, and this one just kind of appeared out of nowhere. I stayed up until about 3 a.m. watching this movie, and it was hard to go back to sleep because it was actually pretty terrifying, but it was also really powerful. Carla Guingo was, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering her name, I even watched videos of how to pronounce the actors and actresses' names before this, and I've completely forgotten, so if I've gotten it wrong, I'm really sorry. Carla Guingo is amazing, and I have huge love and respect for her after this film. I mean, she really wasn't in anything remotely as powerful before. You know, she was the mom in Spy Kids. Freaking Lurch is in this. Carl Strachan, he's in it, and he is creepy as fuck. But enough talk on acting worship. When Jessie finally calms down a little bit after, you know, her husband just died in front of her and is just laying on the edge of the bed. Well, not the edge of the bed, on the floor on the edge of the bed. And she's just kind of like figuring out what to do. Her conscience kind of splits in two. This whole kind of devil angel thing happens where her husband doesn't come back, but her husband kind of appears to her as her negative thoughts. He's very down-putting. He tells her that she's being stupid. Why are you doing that? Why did you scream for an hour? What's the point? But then her angel side kind of comes in, her more positive thoughts, who is herself. She ends up talking to herself, and her stronger, more positive self is very stern and very wise, and is trying to help her keep her wits about her. As hours and even days go by, the situation starts to get more intense, and it starts to lead her back into thinking about her past. This is where I am going to start putting in spoilers, so if you would like to skip ahead and not get spoiled, skip ahead to this time. And also, don't watch the trailer for this movie. It seriously spoils everything. I don't know why the hell Netflix made their... I don't understand movies and trailers anymore. I really don't. Especially when they do a teaser before the actual trailer. Like, what the fuck is the point? That's so stupid. On to some really serious dark topics. Jessie's going back into her past, and her father did these kind of really nasty things to her, and she stayed silent about it for so many years, and it showed that it took effect on her because it comes forward that her husband was a lot like her father, and you know, there's these weird little things she comes to terms with. Part of the amazing thing about this movie is it captured a very delicate situation in a very direct manner without any nudity whatsoever. That was something I was absolutely shocked by with this movie. There is absolutely no nudity in it whatsoever. There is a gory part that is a little bit intense, but it reminds me kind of Saw a little bit. Like, so many people are scared of watching Saw because they think it's going to be torture porn. The first Saw is very good. It's a good psychological film, and it doesn't actually get gory except for one part. This movie's kind of the same. You kind of go in thinking that it's going to be really violent and gross, but it's actually not. I want to bring up the point of how there are a few films that tend to show rape scenes or insinuate rape. A few I can think of are The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and even Game of Thrones. A lot of it was highly criticized in these films for that because people, I think, took it the wrong way and they thought it made the girl, like, rape made the girl stronger and it normalized rape. I don't think that's what the filmmakers in those movies meant to convey. That's just my personal opinion. Because the fact of the matter is you don't get over rape, and these girls. And the weird thing about those scenes, and I can kind of understand how people see it that way, is because you're not getting into their internal monologue. You're not hearing what they're going through. You see what they go through, but you're not hearing in their head what they're thinking and what they plan on doing. And the fact of the matter is, when it comes to rape or sexual assault, every victim handles it differently. Some are willing to accept it, that it happened quickly, and they're willing to not let it control their life that much. It's also interesting because this was a film that showed the internal monologue. This wasn't just, oh, this thing happened to her and she just kind of got over it. No, it doesn't show that at all. It's a total internal monologue and internal fight, not just with her husband and her father, but also with herself. And I think that's a really, really important thing to get out of this film, and to kind of get out of those, scenes where there's rape and it's mostly following the victim. Because sometimes that internal monologue is a little bit hard to show, and people seem to think, oh, that they're insinuating that rape is normal and that they're stronger because of it. And I'm like, no, you're not. First of all, you are strong before rape, okay? Though all of those women were strong, all of those characters were strong before rape ever happened to them. It's who they are as people and as characters that made them stronger. This movie does a very good job of capturing the internal monologue of a character that has been through sexual assault. And it shows somebody who let it control her and she stayed silent about it. There's one part that I love that is just a wonderful piece of writing, and I don't know if this is in the book or anything like that, but props to Stephen King for thinking of this. And it goes a little bit something like this. She says she's talking to her younger self, and she says, "You have been shackled before, first by the shackles of silence by your father, and then by the shackles of comfort from your husband." And I just thought that was so powerful and meaningful. The ending is also really powerful and really meaningful, but I am not going to spoil it for you. Quite a few people hated the ending. I don't know why. I don't think they really understood the meaning behind it, but I thought it was absolutely beautiful and perfect. It was a perfect ending. I'm actually kind of shocked that with the Me Too movement, this wasn't a bigger movie. Cause this is really powerful. I mean, if the Me Too movement had a movie, this would be it. It's not about some famous actors or anything like that, but it's about somebody who had to be silent because they had masters of power kind of overtaking them, and then they finally come to terms that somebody that they loved hurt them and they weren't gonna take it anymore. I feel like this movie might trigger quite a few people who have been through sexual assault or rape or anything like that, but I also feel like it might help victims of sexual assault. And this is me personally. I am not a professional. Please don't just watch this movie thinking, oh wow, it's gonna cure me or something like that, because it's not. I think it helps come to terms, and I think it helps people relate to the character. But I would love I would love to hear people in the psychological film watch this movie and put their input in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think, or if you have seen the movie before and you're willing to talk about it, I would love to hear comments on it because it's seriously so good. Sorry if it got a little bit dark, but this is a really dark movie and it tackles a very, very sensitive subject, but I think it's a subject that people need to talk about. So definitely go watch Gerald's Game. It's on Netflix now. You can watch it anytime. You can turn this off and go watch it right now. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and again, please comment your opinions on this movie if you have seen it, or if you turn this off and then go to see it, comment afterwards. I would love to hear opinions on this film because I thought it was super powerful, and in a way, it's scary, but it's also very beautiful. So just let me know what you guys think. And if you guys know of any other independent films that are coming out this year that you would like for me to review, let me know. Bye!
Back up! If you don't wake up, you're gonna die.